Joining us with his views as well is Yannick Naud, who is portfolio manager at Glendevan King Asset Management. Yannick, we've seen the reaction that's been negative on the share price today, but there have been some positive comments in the way brokers view it because of the wealth management performance. What was your instant view?
Well, I'm a bit surprised by the reaction of the market. I mean, all in all, I think 1 year ago, it would have been, no one would have expect such a good result. I mean, it's a well-balanced result across different areas of the business. And Credit Suisse is clearly a strong bank and in a difficult environment. So compared to a French peer or German peer or Spanish bank, I think they're doing very, very well.
Yeah, I was noticing too some of the commentary around the stock suggests that he could start paying its 2013 dividend paid fully in cash, and that would be a surprise and a positive one for investors.
Well, given the attitude of the Swiss regulator in terms of capital, Tier 1 capital and everything, I'm not too sure that they could start right away to distribute dividend. Even though the results are strong, I think the Swiss regulator, being one of the most conservative regulators, because in terms of percentage of GDP, the banking business is very large compared to the GDP of the country. I think it might be difficult for them to start increasing dividend.
Tell me, can you get a clear read on what's playing out in earnings season? Because if you look at the market yesterday, we had some highs out there across stock markets. We saw a positive reaction to the PMIs. Today, as we come through the trading session, we've got a negative reaction to earnings. So it seems as though we're on a bit of a seesaw here in Europe.
Well, it's a bit like an economic number for the economy. I mean, it's very difficult to see a clear trend, I think. We had some very positive results, some negative results. And one day is very different. Yesterday was very, very different from today. So it's difficult right now. We still don't have a clear picture in terms of earning. And second, you have to keep in mind that after a good day, the expectation build up, and it's very difficult for the market to stay at level where the expectation is too high. You could see some the stock performing the best are probably the one where the expectation were the lowest.
You're looking at a couple of stocks in particular, the oil exploration side.
Yes.
What stands out here, and what are your expectations?
Well, I mean, within the oil price is behaving quite well. I mean, it's holding up. What is interesting is within the oil industry where the margin is made. Since quite some time, we think that most of the margin is going away from the oil exploration company itself. It's going more towards seismic and more towards engineering. Today, for example, we had Technip that reported strong results across the board with a very, I think, a record high order book, and therefore we think that within the oil industry, the subsea level and the engineering will make most of the margin.
The CEO from Technip was saying he sees no meaningful change in client projects, sees strong capex growth among his oil and gas clients in 2014. This suggests some appetite for investment out there in the sector.
Yes, I mean, in fact it's surprising because we have seen some project, whatever it was in Gulf in Mexico or in Australia, have been postponed because of high costs or because of higher risk. But they see a very, very strong, robust demand from a large client. So I think the demand for the service they provide, and now they have a very diversified offer of service, is still growing.
Just quickly though, there is a clear differentiation between the oil services sector and what we're seeing in other mining services. The two are very far apart at this point.
Yes. In terms of margin, in terms of growth, it's very different. Yes.
Thank you very much for that. We'll have a further discussion about some of the earnings out there today. Yannick Naud is portfolio manager at Glendevan King Asset Management and staying with us today if you want to pop any questions through. Well, let's move on to some